That's all we need to do. Salt will draw out the moisture. Time to put this bad boy on the flushing beam and remove the heaviest flesh and fat that remains on the skin. Okay, here's my flushing beam. Here's the otter. I've put on a heavy work apron here so I can lean against it. My lab coat already smells bad enough from the skinning process. I'm going to stretch this down onto the beam. I'm going to get it up to the head area. Now, the knife I'm going to use is a Dexter knife. And I'm just going to get started. Nothing magical about it. Just make sure I put a constant edge on it. It's an old knife. It's pretty beat up too. The edge is pretty bad. I may have to end up getting a new one. But this is my preferred knife for shaving. I put a better edge on it, please. This works fantastic on deer capes. Here we go. There we go.
These workers were abused horribly, left tied up in the sun if they violated an order, and then something happened.
Yes, understand it. You have to understand the harsh regime of labor is on the Vasa Island.
Off the coast of Haiti.
Yeah, we just keep shaving down. Holding the knife not flat against the skin, not definitely parallel with the skin, but at an angle. I don't know if it's 45, 35, 30 degree angle, 40 degree angle, I don't know. It's whatever angle works for it to help remove the heavy tissue from the skin. I go up as far up the leg, the little stubby legs as I can, front legs, so I can remove the heavy little piece of meat that's there, shave it away. Sometimes I'll bring in my smaller paring knives, get the delicate areas. Sometimes when I'm done on the big beam, I'll take it to where the dowels are at, to my regular skinning table, and I'll use my dowels up in the leg skins with my little paring knife or the scalpel, whichever one I choose to use. Taxidermic poetry. Nah. Now this is a little tougher to do because there's not a lot of heavy muscle structure on this skin. I need to put a couple of sheets of paper on the floor. This is just the same white paper that I did the first carcass tracing on. But it does a good enough job of catching the meat that falls away from the skin. Let me put another edge on here. Sometimes you have to keep honing an edge until you get just the right amount of sharpness, and you'll know when you've got it. I think right now I'm getting it. Have a little more. There we go. Now that's it. That's good. Now it's good. The trick, like anything else, not really a trick, but best technique is to hold tight on one end, the top end of it, and push away. This way the skin doesn't bunch up under the blade. Here we go, like so, see? I just want to break up this membrane of fat and tissue that's on here. That's all you're going to get with this, because it was skinned carefully and not just ripped from the carcass, ripped from the headlines. It wasn't ripped from the carcass, you know, like the way they skin for the fur market. The skin for the fur market, they just tear the son of a bitch down. They just tear it down. They don't put a hole in the skin, but a lot of the meat comes off the carcass onto the skin, and that makes it a little easier to shave it with a courier's knife. Ah, see? Just like my tanner said, leave some meat. That's why I don't worry about taking a whole hell of a lot of this off. It gives it gives the round knife something to bite into. I do want to take off the heaviest stuff down at the base here, down around the base of the tail. I do want to take this down. There's a lot of stretch here, so you have to hold tight. I'll put a new edge on this blade. Here we go. That's nice. That's nice, right there. That is nice. Nice, 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 nice. Now, let me get one of my paring knives for that. Okay.
Why was 1898 an imperial shopping spree? What was going on?
This is just to remove it from the skin. If I was to use the big knife along the edge of the tail, I could very conceivably damage the edge of the tail. I don't want to do that. I just want to remove the heavy, gristly fat off the tail. But to get it off the skin, I just assume use the paring knife. I just break this up and get this off, like so. There we go. There we go. Plop that there. Just grab hold of a little fatty grease and gristle and go through with the paring knife. Take it away. There we are. There we go. Okay. Get the heavy cartilage imbued fat off the tail.
Well, this is a really interesting and rare moment in U.S. history where the leaders of the country will start talking like the British. The reason that the United States needs to fight the Philippines and fight to retain the Philippines is in order to civilize and uplift Filipinos.
A little bit here.
Famous poem, Justifying Empire, by your White Man's Burden, is written as advice to the United States about what to do in the Philippines.
Boom.
Take up the white man's burden. Send forth the best ye breed. Go bind your sons to exile, to serve your captives need. To wait in heavy harness, on fluttered folk and wild.
Pull that down.
Your new cause common peoples, half devils and half
This.
time. Teddy Roosevelt receives an advance copy, but a lot of politicians are deeply enthusiastic about the notion that the United States could achieve its adulthood by becoming, like Britain, like France, a transparent and forthright empire that's taken on the white man's burden to uplift and to educate its colonial subjects. That's the rhetoric of the time.
Now, the heaviest
one that sets the captive free, and one that takes a once captive freedom away from him, takes a quarrel with him with nothing to found on, and then kills him to get his land. For that second America, he proposed adding a few words to the Declaration of Independence. Governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed white men.
That's right. Mark Twain and Kipling were friends. Initially, Mark Twain had been, as he described it, a red-hot imperialist. But as he saw the war in the Philippines start to unfold, he came to be one
Now we're at the area of the penis right now, here on the skin, on the inside. And I want to make sure that I don't slice through the skin, working around that. And here's the heavy fat and whatnot from around the scrotum.
the massacres, the tortures, the hypocrisy.
Just want to get this heavy stuff off of here. Just get the heaviest stuff off of here. That includes any pieces of red meat that are stuck on here.
Learned to reconcile itself to imperial brutality. This is on the
Like so. Believe me, the salt will draw everything up and out of there. It'll be up and out of it. Now over here, on the penile sheath, I'm going to use my little curve edge paring knife, just to work around it and get that stuff off of there. That's the penis sheath. Now, if you use the heavy knife on that, you're liable to just cut that completely off, and you won't have anything to fill in with clay. This is a male otter. Now, okay, if this one is mounted in an upright position with his back end low on the ground, you're not going to see it. I'll still fill it in, and I'll still build up his testicles. Just because they're out of sight doesn't mean nothing. Now, I'm not doing this for competition. I'm doing this because I owe it to this animal to restore him. To restore him. And that's what Henry Inchmuck used to say. We are animal restorers. More than just taxidermists. We restore the animal to its lifelike qualities to the best of our ability. I'm of that old school. Henry was one of the masters. I feel very fortunate that I was able to meet him before he passed. Went home to his creator. I was honored. I've also been honored to have my mentor, Joe Kish, in my home. So I've been a pretty lucky man in this industry as far as that goes. I've met a lot of my taxidermy heroes along the way. I was able to meet Leon Prey before he passed. What a thrill. Oh man, what a thrill that was. Introduced to me by Mr. Joe Bruchak, another big name from long ago in taxidermy. Introduced me to Leon L. Prey. There we go. Get that on the paper. Now this is the anal area here. Let's see if I can put an edge on the knife here so I can get through that.
The objection to empire was that it would extend the borders of the United States in such a way that would include
taking land that was populated by people who were not white.
Yeah, it's really extraordinary. So the United States expands a lot as the borders go west, but was always operating on the logic of the United States should seek to take land that would then be used for white settlers, but it should not seek to incorporate large non-white populations. So after the United States fights a war with Mexico in the 1840s, militarily,
And there we go. Now that little hole, there's a little, is that a hole? Yeah, that little hole, that's actually one of the ports for the oil gland, the oil sac. There's just a tiny, tiny little opening there. It's not a knife cut. It's a natural hole for the oil glands. Just imagine the otter doing what a duck does. Duck reaches around its back end, preens its feathers by dipping into its oil gland. Otter does the same thing. They will lay on their back, rub themselves down there. It looks like they're doing something awful or something naughty or nasty. What they're doing is they're massaging their oil gland, and then they're rubbing their little paws all over their face and their body and whatnot, and they're waterproofing their fur. Largely aquatic. They need to waterproof their fur. All right, I think I'm going to put the anal opening over one of those wooden cones. Whoops! to further shave it.
That's right. And the history of the United States' colonial empire is the history of a lot of people who are U.S. nationals and either are not U.S. citizens, have to push to become U.S. citizens, and even when they receive that citizenship, for example, Puerto Rican citizens since 1917, the citizenship that they receive is statutory, i.e., it's provided by law, not by the Constitution, which also suggests that it can be taken away.
Okay.
One of the most clarifying things that you do in your book is to describe the tribe.
Back to the table. Just want to get this heavy meat off from around the anal opening. But I want to do it very, very carefully. I don't want to put holes around the big hole. I don't want to put any small holes around the main hole. The Trump hole.
More or less. And they're also invisible in American popular culture. I was
Here we
struck
go.
by the discussion of the films about the Long March in the time.
That's right. So one of the more dramatic events in World War II is the Japanese conquest of the Philippines. And this becomes the single bloodiest thing ever to happen on U.S. soil. World War II in the Philippines ultimately kills 1.5 million people, about 1 million from are Filipinos or U.S. nationals. That's 2 civil wars, and there is very little registering of that on the mainland during the war, and frankly, there's very little registering of that now. It's not the kind of thing you find in textbooks. During the war, the thing you see most about on the mainland is these wars about a fight in the Bataan Peninsula, where Filipino soldiers and soldiers from the mainland were making a last-ditch defense of the Philippines against Japan right before the archipelago got occupied and conquered.
There we go.
They focus with laser-like intensity on the white soldiers. So the tragedy of the loss of the United States' largest colony, a tragedy that will lead to the single bloodiest thing that ever happens in U.S. history, this is entirely understood as something that happens to characters who are played by people like John Wayne.
Then the Air Force will have won the war, I suppose. Only where is the Air Force?
The Filipino presence is almost completely erased from the reception of World War II, even when it's taking place in the Philippines.
Obviously, if people are viewed as lesser and if they are invisible, they're more vulnerable. Tell me the story of Cornelius Rhodes.
Okay. Okay. Now, rather than try and get around the scrotum sac with a knife, I'm going to use a scissor and pinch away the fatty tissue between the blades of the heavy scissor. And in Wasco catalog, this is called the a lineman's scissor or lineman's shears.
All of the fears that Puerto Ricans have about manrakers, and it becomes a scandal.
You just want to be sure not to pinch the skin between the blades. Just the fat of the scrotum, okay?
That's right. There's already a small
You want to be careful. You want to handle it very, very carefully.
but in the 1930s, economic depression and then the issue of this letter turned it into a major force in Puerto Rican politics. And Albizu passes this letter around to anyone who will listen. He sends it to the Vatican. The appointed colonial governor, who's a mainlander, describes it as a confession of murder. So there's an investigation, and how that investigation plays out is really telling. First of all, Rhodes just leaves, and there's an investigation without him. And Rhodes' defenders
Like so. All right, just like so.
he was angry, but the point is that
Okay.
he didn't actually kill Abe.
We're right down to the skin now. That's the skin. We are right down to the skin proper. Right there.
That is, as the governor sees it, worse than the first, which is
All right.
hard to imagine.
We keep going like this. You don't need to use the knife all the time. Sometimes the scissors is a better tool for the job than a knife.
But that he didn't actually kill people.
Sometimes the sharpest knife can cause you more problems. This is very, very, very blubbery, slick. It's hard for a knife to get a purchase. But if you have two knife blades, which is basically what a good sharp scissors is, it's two knife blades. You have two knife blades working in concert to be able to pinch this tissue, this greasy, fatty, blubbery tissue together between them. You get a much cleaner, neater job. And it actually goes quicker than using a knife over a cone or the beam or what have you. Sometimes I forget about the other tools I've got in my toolbox and the uses they have, and then once you start using them, it's like, oh yeah! How the hell can I forget that? What a dope! What a dope! Well, that's okay. I'm only human. Like Billy Joel sings, you're only human. Woo, woo, woo. There we go. There we go. Okay. We can actually get a lot of the fat remaining removed from the skin using the scissors. This is a knife. This is, I would say, the Fiskars type scissors is not really conducive to doing this kind of work. That is a good sharp cutting blade. This is a heavy duty lineman's scissor. This can cut electrical wires, and it's great for taxidermy purposes. When Sally Dames recommended this as, in fact, I think she listed it as the ultimate scissors in the old Wasco catalog. And it really is an ultimate scissor. Does a lot of great work. Okay, now that's that. We got a little bit of heaviness here. I didn't beam this. This is, boop, boop. That's around the little boy part. That's his little boy parts. So now we can take this and be very, very careful around the little boy parts. Remember, I was hesitant about using the big knife or even the paring knife. But this is perfect. There we go. Hi ho, Pecorino.
without anyone really acknowledging that he's had this back history.
There we go.
Most people didn't know the information
Okay.
segregation.
What I'm going to do before I salt him, I'm going to spray the hide with the Chemol 4 solution. Let me get this red meat off of here. Well, that's brilliant. We can go over wherever there are these small little bits of red meat attached. We can go over like this. Get this off. Okay. Like so.
Providing information on a range of insurance coverage and price options. One at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. Now that's Progressive.
Up in the air, it's Sky King. You can tell it's spring. They're throwing people out of planes. Okay.
Artists you love and the ones you will. Weekends on All Things Considered from NPR News.
Here we go. Now you can go crazy over the thing, removing as much as you like. You do need to remove a good amount of stuff, of tissue. Now this is on the front legs. Remember I said, oh, maybe we'll get the dowel up there. Well, there's enough here that you can pinch it between the double blades of the ultimate scissor, the lineman scissor, and be able to clean it off the skin that way. Now don't get me wrong, I have pinched the skin and created a nice long cut in the past. I haven't done it recently. I'm hoping like hell not to do it in front of the camera today. Actually, what's nice is you develop a feel for working with all manner of tools. You have you have a great arsenal of tools in your toolbox. And the more you use them, the more skill you develop in using them.
Because that view enables us to look past human rights violations.
And like I said, I was using this around the whisker roots as well. For right now, I'm going to start spraying him. I want to add moisture to the skin so the salt can draw the moisture out of the skin. It's not as self-defeating as it sounds. It really is a good idea. It will allow the salt to kick. It will allow the salt to kick. That's a soap solution. So spraying a soap solution will make you cough a little bit. Chemol 4 is also sold as a rehydrator, just so you know. And I'll tell you, you have been witness, it has done a wonderful job on this skin. Any of the dry parts of this skin, it has certainly rehydrated them and done it beautifully as well. And I'm just going to rub it in. I'm going to rub it in, rub it in.
In your book, you tell the story of a young Filipino boy, Oscar, who encountered the GI coming down the street, handing out cigarettes and seeking
Rub this in. Rehydrate it.
and when he applies easily and
You don't just leave it on the surface. Rub it in.
how did you learn American?
That story's slightly because you have to think of it from the perspective of the soldier first. He's crossed the different things. He's been given maps. He's been told where to go, whom to shoot. He's a constantly some of the bloodiest fighting of the war, and he meets this kid. And when the kid speaks English, he's totally confused why this kid should speak English. When Oscar explains, oh, the reason I speak English is that after the Philippines became a colony, you guys sent a bunch of teachers and we all went to
Okay.
Oh, I didn't realize that the Philippines was a U.S. colony. I didn't actually realize that he's fighting with U.S. troops. Usually think of the war as
this into the tail skin as well. All right, to the salt rack. All right, and at the salt rack. There's the otter. Laying him on a salt rack. This is just an old pallet. I have another one to replace it. And what I want to do, I want to definitely I salt the head first. Salt the head first. Rub it in real well. Rub it in thoroughly. Get my fingers under the nose and my fingers under the nose. The eyelids. Pinch the ears between my fingers and the salt. Now we do the feet, the hands, front paws, whatever you want to call them. I call them the little hands. Now I didn't cut down the pads on the front feet, but they're so minimal. They will salt, and they will also pickle and tan. And then I will remove that tissue after I get the skin back from the tannery. Now I'm going to flip him over and do the back side of his neck. And you can see how the head is already becoming moisture laden, right? So I will add more salt to the head. It basically gets like a double salting the first salting out. First time out is almost a double salting. Make sure that I pull the lip skins so that they're fully exposed. Pull on the lip skins like so. Just pull on them. Yeah, that's what you want. You see this is also red now. It's already starting to drain. Now I go flip the otter over, the head up there. Go down the body with the salt. Some more salt out of my container. I use an old box the cat litter comes in to hold my salt. Get the salt on the rear feet, legs. Turn them over. The bottom of the animal, the belly of the beast. Really salt down that scrotum that I trimmed. Salt down these hind feet real well. Make sure the salt gets everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Now, flip the tail over, and we're going to get salt down the entire length of the tail. All the way down to the now opened tip. Definitely want to work the salt into the tip of the tail. Rub it in, rub it in. There we go. All right. Can't rub it in all wrong. You just rub it in, rub it in. Now, while this has been salting, the head has been soaking up the salt. I'm going to resalt the head once again, top and bottom, all the details, the nose, the head, the tail, the whole damn thing. Now, while he's laying down, I'm going to take the first stretcher and go up into the skin with the first stretcher. I'm simply grabbing it like so to thin it so I can get it up in the animal. Like so. All the way up to the face, the head, right up to the nose, tip of the nose. Make sure it's on there as evenly as possible. Take it all the way down. Pull it all the way down. Now let it open easily, gently. Make sure the animal is even on the stretcher. I will now hang it up on the hook. It's not a sharp hook, but there is a hook up here. It's a screw hook, like so. And that will allow him to drain. Isn't that pretty? There we go. And there he'll hang till later this evening. I'll come back out, take him down, resalt him, leave him on the rack, resalt him, and hang him back up inside my shop and over a big old garbage pail to drain. And there you have it. Done and done till he's shipped off to the tannery.